Plateau in north-central Nigeria is yet to abate. In fresh violence, about 23 persons have been burnt beyond recognition in Chisu village, Mangu local council of the state. The attack took place about 11 in the night when majority of the villagers had already gone to bed, while 15 people were killed in Chisu. 8 were massacred in Bua community. Let's hear from the governor on this.
Recent records have it that more than 267 people, including women and children, were gruesomely murdered by militiamen between the months of May to date. About 50 villages across Mangu, Barkiladi, and Riam local government areas of Plateau State have come under incessant attacks. The efforts of the security operatives in tackling the invasion have been questioned by some leaders of the affected communities and individuals. The state governor met a few weeks ago with the warring Fulani and Magavul stakeholders to discuss measures to avert further attacks in the areas. Worried by the persistent invasions, Mr. Mufwan also visited President Bola Tinubu to seek federal government intervention on the killings in the state, as he revealed in a gathering in Jos.
About 16 to 20 villages have almost been cleaned up. And the attacks have continued unabated. We have taken some steps, we have put some measures in place, but I'd like to promise Plateau people that by the grace of God, this situation will be arrested.
Some stakeholders in the state we spoke with shared their thoughts on the situation and the way forward.
We pray and believe that the president will look into our plight of having state police, because once we have state police, we will be able to police our own environment, our own community. We'll be able to know who is truly ours and who is the enemy.
Where these things are happening are in the rural areas. So the current service chiefs and heads of security agencies must come up with a strategy that will be operational in the rural areas.
And my appeal to Mr. President and the new service chiefs to please put their searchlight on the Plateau, because Plateau is still boiling.
To put an end to these recurring attacks in some of the Plateau communities, the security operatives must come up with new security approach on the situation, as well as all hands must be on deck if we must achieve this. For Nom Joshua, TVC News, Jos.
Today, it's not today that this Plateau crisis all over, especially places like Rion, local governments, you know. Back in Ladi, they come. This is Mangu. And I think it's time we have to look into this.
Because many communities in Plateau State have been completely destroyed and renamed by the invaders. Destroyed, the original inhabitants chased away, renamed and occupied by new people. Can you beat that?
After killing.
After wasting them, I know a retired ambassador in our country. I know a retired ambassador in this country who can no longer go to his village because the village has already been occupied by new people and renamed. This is the truth. How did we get to a situation in which people will come from foreign lands and kill our people, render their communities desolate, and then take over those communities? As I've said before, it is possible to put an end to these killings. It is possible. It's just that we've not taken the right steps. And the president, having now appointed service chiefs, must declare the deliverables to them.
Honestly.
Eyeball to eyeball.
Can't just be a general, chief of army staff, or anything. You want to sit down there and
No, these are your deliverables. This is your KPI.
Yes, even Inspector General of Police.
Everybody.
This is internal
Everybody,
security.
that's how it's done.
Yeah.
And that's why when people see signs that they are failing, they don't even wait to be shown the door.
Honestly.
They resign. In our country, they will fail. Even the CNC will be the one to keep them in office for 5 years. Come on. Enough is enough. People have failed at the duty that you've given them. The world is abusing you. And you keep them in office in perpetuity. Who does that now?
For 64 months.
You keep them in perpetuity?
Service chiefs were in the office. After even
Are they politicians?
After their retirement age.
Yes. No, you see, the statutory is even unconstitutional to keep people in office beyond their statutory age of retirement. Oh, service chiefs, they got extension the first time. After they got extension, you then kept quiet. You didn't give a second extension. You kept quiet because you knew people would complain about a second extension. You kept quiet and just left them. And
they went on and on and on.
Past the age of 60, you still left them.
Those were contacted.
And we were not seeing results.
We were advocating for them as like politicians. They should continue in office.
Look, why is it their fault? It's not their fault. Then the CNC does not even show a desire to let them go.
The National Assembly passed the resolution. Yes.
That we were failing. No action. Now, you cannot, Mr. President must realize that, look, these people, you must give them deliverables. Otherwise, we will challenge Mr. President to.
At the end of the day, yes,
you must give them deliverables. Yes. And they must be seen to be performing. They must be seen to be getting results. Otherwise, we will ask Mr. President what is going on. That's our job. As journalists. Yes, that's our job.
Can't continue to kill
people. How can you kill 23 people in just a few days? Where is it done? And the next thing, they will be thinking of who to kill next. And nothing will still happen.
This situation is quite unusual. And because people are not there, you can't feel what they are feeling. Just look at the national.
Sometimes a whole family wiped out.
Yes, yes.
I mean, if you attack people in their sleep, you are likely to kill everybody.
Of course, because you are entering.
And these people, they kill women and children.
Largely,
that's what happens.
Largely. And it's also...
Somebody sent me a message, said, please help us. These people want to wipe us out. They want to, this is like a Scotch-Ed policy. They want to destroy all of us so that we don't exist anymore. Nigeria holds it an obligation to these people to not let the invaders who want to wipe them out of existence succeed.
Yeah. And it's quite obvious that these people they are quite organized because they know when and where to attack.
hit.
So it means they also have their own intelligence.
How they will beat security posts here and there,
military checkpoints. You know, that was why when some people are alarmed when the Benue State governor came and said he was going to dismantle military checkpoints. Because he said they weren't serving their purposes.
The people are even asking now that soldiers should leave their community.
Yes. Because they weren't. Because
what they're asking.
Once these guys move in, you won't find the soldiers. Like BKO said, I think right from the service chiefs to their commanders at the state level, they should be held responsible for some of these things. They should be held accountable. Because that's why they are all there. You have the police, you have the army,
civil defense.
You have civil defense, you have all layers of security. Yes, we've advocated several times on this program. There is need for more recruitment. But even until when we can do that, can we do more of intelligence gathering than just response to attack, kind of policing and
reactive,
we are just reacting. When an attack happens, you move men into that village. Those people have moved.
Where they are moving,
those people have moved to another place. And once they attack there again, you go there. So it means there is no intelligence. Because these people, like BKO said, they are sophisticated and international in nature and operation. So how did they move in and then we are unable to track them?
All right. We take Ace Journalist Hangout, your favorite news and current affairs program, live from TVC News here from our headquarters here in Lagos, and I still have Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Dotun Oladipo in the studio. Jide, now one of our viewers just sent a message, and they was saying that during the time of President Muhammadu Buhari, that we were praising from President Muhammadu Buhari, and I said, look, at no point in time did we praise President Muhammadu Buhari on security. I remember back-to-back editions of Journalist Hangouts that they were killing people up north. They were killing people. Bandits were killing people all around. At no point in time did we cut that administration any slack. So get your facts right.
Where the government deserves praise, you will praise. If he bought weapons for them, for example, you will praise him. On the occasions when he bought weapons for them, I praised him. Now, people, some faceless civil society organizations, even petition TVC, that Babajide was working for the enemies of Nigeria.
I remember that
Remember
time.
those who went on social media to say I was friend of Shekau.
I remember that time.
After the kidnap of the Kankara boys. So people have a little sense of history. They won't remember that at a point they felt that I was an enemy of the army. Because army will claim that it repelled the attack, I will come out to say it's a lie. You remember when I was in Maiduguri, and I came back after the Boko Haram took over Baga. You asked me that question. Despite the fact the army claimed that it had repelled the attack, you asked me, say, Babajide, you are just coming back from Maiduguri. Who is in Baga now? And I told you, Boko Haram was in control of Baga at the time. The people who claim that they repelled the attack, if you give them the Quran, they cannot swear that they repelled any attack.
The fishing community.
Yes, the boys were there for a long time. For a long time. They even took pictures inside the war room of the military in Baga. They sat down. They were mending their tires. They sat down. They took pictures of themselves. So people will not remember those times. They don't want you to praise people even when they achieve something. When we started making progress in Borno State, I was the first to say, yes, we started making progress. I went there to assess the progress by myself. I took risk, and I came back to say, yes.
And when it was very difficult.
So what are we people talking about that we were praising him? Where? Many people even felt that we hated the president. Only those who are committed to the truth will not think Babajide, oh, he's an enemy of APC. Remember when they were calling me tomato journalist now? Silly people. What is a tomato journalist? For a story that I caused to be written on tomato, we won an award. TVC won an award. Because at that time, it was very expensive countrywide.
Good out of hand.
Yes, and we needed to respond. It's my job. Our job as journalists is not to please people. It's to say the truth. Look at somebody when he saw all those tanks in Borno. He says, you mean we have all these tanks? Those tanks, a good number of them were bought by President Buhari. Does he not deserve praise if he bought weapons for the army? We challenged him to buy the weapons.
Yeah, before that time.
Yes, we challenged him.
Yes.
At the National War College, with generals looking at me, I challenged the president to buy game-changing weapons. That's the thing. So, but our people, sometimes you see, social media, to keep your sanity in place, sometimes just take a flight from social media. That is why the journalists who sit in their studios, who do not know Nigeria, who pick up stuff from social media and use it to ask questions and use it to say absolute rubbish on air, they are the ones who are addicted to social media. When was the last time they did a story? Have they ever done a documentary? Do they even know our country? How many places have they been to? So we are not like those ones. We are practical journalists. We go to the most difficult places. Oh, you said you started work in Mambila. We went there to show that you've not even built a road leading to the place. That is who we are.
Now, when you look at the situation now, life has become so cheap that these reports, you can't even go to the pages of the newspaper tomorrow or maybe headline, you'll find the stories. And if it happens elsewhere, a state of emergency can be declared.
Yeah,
How can they be killing 20 people?
It's because we are becoming used to the news. It's become an everyday thing. But like it's been noted, every life is important. That's why in other countries, people are proud to say they are citizens there. Because an American life can't go to waste anywhere. The government will move in. No matter who is involved, that life must be saved. We've witnessed American operation in Nigeria, and we saw it
came
was
to the
only
north,
one,
solo.
only one man.
Just a farmer.
Only one man needed to be rescued. So it has gotten to a stage where we need to realize that the consequences of what we are doing to all these communities that have been attacked, especially the agrarian ones, will keep haunting us
A very long time.
for a very, very long time. Because nobody wants to go out again.
A farm.
People are indoor.
It's a farm.
In all of those villages, I'm so sure that in the past, people will still be outside doing tales by moonlight until about that 11, 12.
Most communities in
You know what some
nobody
people
does.
do now in some communities? They just do farms in front of their houses.
In front of the houses.
They can't go inside.
They can't go inside. Where they're going to get plenty harvest.
I was even told that people come together in the community that will go to your farm today, maybe 50 people at the same time. Tomorrow we'll go to your farm. You can't go to the farm solo.
Yes, they can still kidnap those ones. The people, these days now, what the bandits do in Katsina and other places is they will approach the community. They will say, okay, as a community, this is what we want from you. You must pay. So the levy is determined by the size of the community. This is not fiction. It may look like fiction. Based on the size of the community,
They have their own FIS.
They will also appoint a district head. So that district head, they will tell you, this is the person that you deal with. That's what Bello, Tuji, and Co are doing. Deal with this. This is the person that I've appointed. Sometimes they kill the substantive district head. They will install their own and tell you to interface with that person. If for any reason you fail to pay, oh my God, the reaction can be very brutal.
Of governance in those areas.
Yeah, of course, so many places. There's no presence of government. The roads are not even good. So even when they raise the alarm, before you get to the place, they've nearly killed everybody. No roads. So why? But banditry is a big challenge that this administration must deal with. As we are dealing with the issue of the economy, banditry, you have to deal with banditry.
All right.